gentlemen, it's Smacked Up Wrestling. It's Wednesday, and we actually had another great week. It's so weird.
It's the strangest thing ever.
I'll no bother introducing you then, you just talk.
I always just talk if you don't realise this. I have no
I know, but you need called out on it, quite frankly.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So that's Kirsty.
Hi!
Interrupting Kirsty. And also, as ever, from Germany. I was trying to think of a pun involving the word Reich, but I think I should probably not.
Don't do it.
It's Flo!
Wouldn't be the worst thing you said.
True.
That's true.
True. So, it's been some week. I don't know what's happened to Vince when he realised no one was excited for Survivor Series. What?
Man, first off, you should probably tell the people why Will isn't here, because he's not feeling well, so he had to...
I was going to get to it eventually, probably. Will's not well. We really hope he's better soon, because I don't like being in charge.
Oh.
I like making fun of who's in charge.
Yeah, that's the main problem. It's not that we're worried about Will's health. It's that we're concerned about Marty not ripping the piss out of everybody.
I'd say that's a good way of prioritising things.
The what?
The worst. I think you'll find illness is the worst.
And speaking of not feeling well, I have to address something, because our good friend Andre Corbiel is homeless since yesterday. And
on Twitter.
Yeah, and he asked for if some of us and you guys obviously want to help him, just message him with help, or just he said some money about PayPal. So
he has it's either like a PayPal or his Patreon or something. He has something. If you are able to donate money to him, I've retweeted it, so it'll be on my Twitter feed if you want to go have a look, because it sucks, because it's through absolutely zero fault of his own, from what I can understand.
Yeah.
And that's not
his landlord's ill and basically been chipped out with no notice. Which is just not fair on anyone.
Especially in a Canadian winter. Like, winter.
I know, come on, people.
But Canadian winter is not good. So
no.
if you can help out, then send it his way, and I'm sure it would be greatly appreciated from both us and him, obviously.
I mean, from what I heard from Faye, it's really, really bad. And that's her complaining all day.
Well, is there any other horrible happenings we need to be aware of?
No, not if you're talking about the release of James Ellsworth.
That was pretty horrible. I mean, I know people get annoyed by the guy and all that, but here's the thing: he just lived his dream. He was supposed to be a one-time jobber that we'd all forget about.
Aye.
He's turned into a 2-year run.
Yeah, this is like a proper, this is like, AJ Styles is not an underdog when you look at James Ellsworth. Like, they're trying to say that, like, let in the match AJ is, but like, your proper underdog of, the glass ceiling was like a glass flare in terms of how far he was.
Kirsty means glass, for everyone not from Scotland.
Glass, no glass, I'm sorry. Glass ceiling. And it was meant to come in, job to Braun, and leave swiftly.
Aye.
And continue doing what he was doing on the indies, and no like the cool indies. No your PWGs and your ROHs, just like bog standard indies. Like the indies that Vince wants you to believe that is all that's outside WWE. And he got here, go air nothing apart just one wee sentence, and it was a 2-year run. And even though his usual booking is terrible, even for James Ellsworth, it was still really cool to see this like wee indie guy just come in, and he got a win at AJ Styles, like, for the love.
How many wins, Kirsty?
Quite a few. Was it not 2 or 3?
Three.
Like,
that.
3 times with Dean's help.
Oh, it was so bad. I was so angry.
It was a great story.
It was a great story. Like, looking back on it, I was like, that was fun, but living through that, the rage in me was not good. You know, you were here for it, guys. It was not good.
It was worth every delicious second.
I was kinda bummed when I seen it. I was like, oh, because the last thing he done was,
Hide in the toilet while Raw attacked.
well, the last in-ring thing he done was get super kicked off a
Well,
Carmella.
Yeah.
If
the
they're being on a
past week he was
dubstep.
taking different finishers from the
In the house show,
SmackDown
right?
women at the house shows, like people's elbows, stunners, mandible claw, all that kind of thing, just to pop the crowd. And he did his role well, and I really don't know why they never just stuck him in 205. Nico Enzo's lackey. Fuck it.
Why
He's
not?
good at lackey.
I like
Mm.
it's like he served his role really well, even in that main event scene. Like he was there, and his purpose was like you knew what he was there for, and you knew what was going to happen, even if you wanted to deny it, because AJ Styles deserves better.
Oh,
But,
shut
like it was
up.
fun, like it was a lot of fun, and I am kind of sad, like a wee bit. I mean,
Good
I'm not
on
going to
him
be
anyway.
missing him.
I mean, he's now set for life. He can go to conventions every year,
Aye.
meet fans, get a nice wee indie rate going for himself, maybe do some wee surprisey shows and shit like that.
And the thing is, I'm assuming, like at the very least, he's hopefully saved a shit ton of money this year.
Oh, I don't think
Of
there's
course.
any way he wouldn't have.
And then
my
it also
suspicion
means-
is that he's going to show up in some actual known indies for a bit,
Mhm.
do his comedy thing, make some more money.
Most likely.
Do you know what the
It's-
first thing I thought of was? Him and Cabana need to have a match immediately. Like this.
Him and
needs to
Chuck
happen.
Taylor need to be a tag team.
Oh my god, yes, yes, please. Like, see, like it's good, but the thing is he can now also go, and because he's had this 2-year run, his money that he can ask for.
Well,
has
that's
now
my point. He's
just
going to
went
get
through
better
the
than
roof.
indie and better money for it. And I mean, he
Aye.
could even channel that into wee talking tours, just doing mini tours here and there. Just this is what happened to me, man. Crazy couple
He
years,
could
you know.
easily write a book, and I would read it. Hopefully, somebody would help ghostwrite it. But you know, like a book could come out, and I'd be interested to see what he's saying about his 2-year run that was never meant to happen. Like it's it's awesome.
Exactly.
Only because of t-shirts.
Just because I've got what was I forgot the tagline, but it was something to do with his 2 fists.
Any man with 2 hands.
Has a fighting chance. There we go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like that alone, the whole crowd were like, "Let's go, Jobber."
I really hope he does a biography that's called "I've Got 2 Hands."
Oh, please.
I'm giving this guy fucking money here.
Like it's so there's so much he can do, and I'm sad to see him go, but still, like, it's not like it's completely ill. There's a lot he can do,
Aye.
and it's not like he doesn't have connections on the Indies. He was there for
Well,
a while.
exactly. And let's be honest, in fact, I half suspect the first thing will be announced was the Cruise of Jericho.
Mm,
I really do, because Jericho's a
That's a
big fan of
shout.
him.
that's a massive shout, actually, and that instantaneously puts him in there with the ROH guys. For him to make more connections, that's a shout.
I mean,
Also, he's pals with Daniel Bryan, so
exactly. And I mean, he's more or less WWE's answer to Cheeseburger in a way.
he is. And I love
And
cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburger somehow is over his fucking New Japan.
Because he throws out fucking cheeseburger plushies.
Well, everybody would get over like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
it was cheeseburger plushies, of course he's there. Like I want one of them. He comes out with that bag, and I'm like, give me one of them. I love them teddies, and I love wrestling. Bring the two together. He's great.
Just
I love him.
send him over to Japan and just have him do gimmick battle royals like the opening of Wrestle Kingdom. Fuck it. Just
Like, there's so much he can do. So I mean, it's sad on one hand, but at least now he has creative control.
Well,
of
he
how
has-
stupid he wants to be.
all these possibilities in front of him that he would never have had access to otherwise.
I don't
And-
think he's going to be bitter about a single thing.
Oh no! Well, he knew he was lucky. He lived every fan's dream, every wrestler's dream, pretty much. He got a run to the big time, and nobody would have ever predicted it or thought it would have ever happened. They did the impossible, and somehow it worked out for him. And good on him.
Aye, in a 2-year run, you cannot sniff at that
I mean,
at all.
Multi-year contract. I'm imagining at least somewhat decent money. Especially compared to what I had before. I mean, I don't quite know his full details. I know he's worked as Jimmy Dream,
Yeah.
and he had his own indie Maryland Championship wrestler or something like that. Excuse me. I can't remember where I was going with this. I had a point.
I'd put it this way: I'd seen him a couple of times on CZW shows.
Yeah.
Like, not in the main event or anything, but that's
No,
the
but he
only
was
place
there.
I knew him.
What I was going to say is, I don't know if he was full time before WWE.
But now he can be.
Aye.
Love every second of it, and it's awesome.
Exactly.
So high five you. Like just.
Good on you, son. And thank you for all the entertainment.
Carmella. And did not get killed off big cast, so high five.
I know, you're a wonderful man.
Keeping the dream alive.
So, another week of quality WWE television.
There's no a whole lot to complain about on either show.
Nah.
No, there's not. I loved every second, almost. I was saying to Flo earlier that I wish SmackDown had kind of just been like, matches and then Braun and Asuka in a car getting closer to the arena. Braun driving, looking really annoyed, and Asuka shrieking in the passenger seat, going, ah! Well, Braun just goes, shut up. And then,
that would have been beautiful.
Hey, that's one of the damn places I geotagged where I done took a shit.
Yes, because it's the most over thing.
Yes, and then it would have just been the two of them murdering SmackDown. I would believe it. I would believe it.
Oh. So, of course, see even the start of SmackDown this week, like just Shane just hyping everybody and getting them still worked up while Kevin and Sammy stood in the far corner just looking at everybody as if they were idiots was my favourite thing about this whole week, I think. It was great. I was like, used to are my favourite.
It was very entertaining, I have to say. But Raw itself, a well-paced show. Some interesting things going on, apart from the opening.
Stephanie
Dean, neutering Kurt.
Aye. Like, still no fucking comeuppance. When is
She'll never get one.
She'll
never get one.
Like, see if they have brought on Ronda, my hope is that they continue somehow on a random thing. She'd like, Ronda's on Raw maybe, and she tries to tell her what to do, and then she just actually battles her, because that
would be lovely.
It's the only good thing
lovely
that could come by either, or even Asuka, because it's like, just have Asuka deck her.
Well, you can't have the talent going over on her.
I know, of course not.
Has to be somebody from outside.
Even when it's no fucking, even when it's a Hall of Famer, they still get to go in
Aye.
don't get to go in and get new. Like, it's just constant, and there's nothing. There is zero. Like, at least Shane will let AJ win, or will let Taker win, or like.
At least Shane will realise that the point of the fucking promos is to get talent over and not himself.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
Dresses me the fuck out, Stephanie, and that dress was ratchet. Well, we're there. It was hideous. I loved the boots, but that dress, I don't want it.
But I
Still complaining.
But I gotta say, from that segment when Roman started talking to her, who are you? Where have you been?
I know, but like, he's the only one that's allowed to speak back to her. You know?
But see when Roman, like, see when it came out and it was just Seth and Dean and everybody was cheering, and then Roman came out and everybody exploded because full shield, no just.
Aye.
It was beautiful. But I don't understand why Roman is like suddenly the talker of the Shield.
Yeah, exactly. When he's got two guys who are much better than him, and Dean alone.
Why is Dean like Dean was always the mouthpiece? Give him the fucking mic. He's really fucking good at this.
I know.
Like, why?
I know.
Maybe they are tired of his gimmick and like, let Roman talk. Okay.
Oh, you need to get Roman over. Make Roman look strong.
But
etc.
But Seth's actual petulant 5-year-old is Wilvin this. He's just like, don't say it, don't bring it up. I didn't do nothing. No.
Your husband did it. Speaking of, this is the other part of Raw that annoyed me. I want to get this out of the way because there's so much good to say about it.
Aye, let's get the complaining out the way first.
Fucking main segment at the end. Triple H has to go over everyone. Look, See, last week it was cool seeing Triple H do these special appearances on the tour and showing up at
Because it was
ICW.
his
It's
shows.
great, but that is not the same as what me wanting to see him on my TV every fucking week.
Fucking agree here. Like when his music hit, I went to
Ah.
bed and I was like, of course, I knew straight away. I was like, he's putting himself in.
Aye,
And the
I
fact,
didn't.
like Jason,
I didn't expect it at
Really?
all. I was
Oh.
like, oh, now Stephanie has nothing to say against Kurt, and she needs her husband. As like always with authority things, yada yada yada. And then he was announcing it, and I was like, what?
just
Oh, no.
make me roll my
It
eyes.
came out
I
of
have
nowhere
no
for
faith.
me.
like, I have no faith in Triple H not to be a mark for himself and put himself
And
wherever
here,
deemed
what was he?
necessary.
Oh, look, there's one of the guys that I helped bring up in NXT. A bit of
Aye.
pedigree on, like he's fucking Brian Kendrick and Paul London.
Oh, mind that time.
Why a day?
But I
I agree.
just like Triple H is meant to be all about the NXT guys and blah blah. And the only way I can see this working is as if they come out and be like, oh, it was all planned. Like if the rumoured Jason turning heel and announcing that none of it was ever true. Imagine that. Like, unless that's where it's gone, because if it's gone that way, I can kind of be like, right, they've set these things up to make it seem like a surprise, even though we all fucking know where we're going. But tell me the story. But see if that's not where it's gone, and he's just brought up talent, and we've seen them H telling them that they're coming up and how proud he was the American Alpha, to then just see a pedigree, and I'm like,
How does this
why
help?
even-
I mean, Kirsty,
Aye, how does it help?
the current rumor is about the whole Jason Tron storyline is that they noticed that it failed, that no one wants
Because
it.
they never used Chad fucking Gable.
In
Like,
the
was
first
Yeah,
clearly
place,
the
right?
plan.
It would have been, it would
And
have been so much better.
the rumor is that he is probably going back to Chad for somehow,
fucking
for
God.
some
See, if they
reason.
just hadn't fucked this in the first place, right now you'd have Chad being over with Kurt. You'd have Jason Jordan probably teaming with Shelton, and what a combination they two would make.
Oh, yes.
Everything about that makes sense, and they just, oh well, we need to fucking swerve
Apparently-
them.
You've got to remember as well, apparently before they had this idea to give Kurt an illegitimate son, the story, that the reason they were trying to bring Shelton Benjamin back was to put him with American Alpha and have them as a
Yes.
three-man team. That
Yes.
was, like, I was so
And he was their
excited for
mentor
that.
slash
Yeah.
manager.
Aye.
And they're going
It
to
all
do
made
that.
sense.
Like, why did we not do that? That sounded so fucking, like, because American Alpha were just there and they just needed something or somebody
Yeah.
to take it there.
They,
And
Aye.
who better than Shelton fucking Benjamin? It was perfect. And then Vince was like, Kurt needs another
I mean,
son.
The other thing is, let's be honest, come February, odds on we're getting a War Games match,
hmm
whatever the pay-per-view is going to be this time.
Mhm.
And you're going to have the Shield, you're going to have New Day. Where's your other trio? That would have been it.
That could have been it, unless they bring up Adam, Cole, and Fish.
I don't see them
Or
bringing him up to
Insanity.
put them in a War Games match.
If they
Uh,
win the
and that-
War Games match coming up, though, then it could be
I
a.
just don't
real
see
one.
them doing it
It's WWE. They're
that
like,
quick.
it's either them or Sanity, and Nikki's just left on the outside to screech and be fantastic, which I would be opposed to.
By the way, sorry, speaking of War Games, now, as we were saying the other night that there's no roof in the cage.
Mhm.
Now, as you know, I'm not exactly a WCW expert, but much to my surprise, there was a War Games that was three teams of three. Well, sorry, 3 teams of 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Just a wee second. Now, don't get me wrong, the teams were fucking abysmal. Like really hard on to get the list. Let's see. Not that one. It was 97. Sorry, 97. So, no, that was the wrong one. I might have watched one even later than that. Oh Jesus! No wonder it was awful. Let's see, because in one team there was Hogan, Stevie Ray, and who else was it? Just a second, I've finally found it. I just need to bring up the list of actual entrants. Sorry.
It's okay.
Should be better organised, Neil.
You're the host. God
That's
damn
why I
it,
take
Marty.
notes.
Yeah. Shut up.
That's why I like
Right, so
everything.
here's the list. So you had Hogan. This is NWO Hollywood team, right? Hogan, Bret Hart, and Stevie Ray. NWO Wolfpack with Nash, Sting, and Lex Luger. And this one is by far everyone's favourite team. Team WCW, DDP, Roddy Piper, and The Warrior.
That sounds good.
Now, here's the catch, right? I need to set up just the scale of what a massive fucking disgrace this was, right?
Of course it was.
Because 3 teams of 3 men, right? Whoever wins, and unlike other War Games matches in the past where it was submission or surrender, this one was pinfall or submission, right?
Mhm.
Whoever wins and gets that pin or whatever, or gets the fall, becomes number 1 contender to Goldberg's title.
Okay.
So, bear in mind, 3 teams of 3, can only be 1 winner. The person who gets the pin wins. So,
Aye.
despite the fact that they all came out as teams and they all had like the random selection of who goes in when, everybody started fighting each other anyway.
No.
Because they all want the title shot. Another thing that I'd noticed, watching it, there was a gap. There'd never been a gap between the rings before. There's just enough for somebody to fall down and hurt themselves, obviously. Because when it came time for Warrior's entrance, they had smoke shoot out all the turnbuckles, obscuring the view. Now, bear in mind, you've already got your view obscured by the fucking cage.
Yeah.
Right? So the smoke covers it, the Warrior appears, NWO Hollywood all jump him and kick the shit out of him. More smoke appears. The smoke clears. And Hogan is left holding the Ultimate Warrior's jacket. The commentators sell confusion as you see Warrior's fingers sticking up from between the rings.
For fuck's sake.
He then climbs up and then chases Hogan, who runs away bravely. Meanwhile, Hogan lets Stevie Ray fight for him with the idea that if Stevie Ray scores the pin, Hogan gets the title shot.
What?
Yes.
I'm so confused.
This is
why
not
I'm
any
walking-
clearer upon watching it.
Oh god,
What a
My
mess.
point is,
my brain hurts.
3 teams of 3 men was a mess. Now, I know this isn't the case where somebody pins it, they get something in NXT, but like it was how the original War Games was a coin toss at the start. So one starts on each side, then it was always the heel that won the toss. So 2-on-1, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
But with this, it was like you had 3 guys in the ring, 1 from each team. No, sorry, it was Team WCW starting. DDP started against Brett, right? Then after that, to sell how random the entrants were, Stevie Ray came in. So you've only got 2 teams represented. But here's the daftest bit. The commentators constantly remind you that this match can end at any time. Nobody even needs to be in the ring. Like, if you haven't entered the match, it might be over before you enter.
God.
So, what I'm
So
worried...
so it was like a Royal Rumble.
It was a Royal Rumble crossed with a Hell in a Cell crossed with Hulk Hogan self-filleting crossed with Sting being weird and Nash just taking the piss at it because he couldn't take
Yay.
anything seriously. It was awful.
WCW. Oh
Now-
my god.
My question is, the pinfall and submission for Saturday at NXT, can that only happen once everyone's in the ring?
I've not watched last week's or this week's NXT.
No, I can't remember, and I don't know if they've said or not.
So I'm not 100% sure. They just kind of announced War Games, but they're
Right,
Yeah,
because-
should be on this week's
It should.
NXT.
That should be what happens, right? And that's fine because it's so stupid having this. Well, the match could end with only 2 people in the ring. We know it's
What's
not
the
Cody.
point?
And then if you did, you'd be fucking crucified. It was just
God damn it.
shit. Absolute shit. And I've watched some bad fucking wrestling in my time. That was the worst thing I've ever seen.
I'm more worried about it, and I'm more worried because I want Adam to do really well, and I
really want Demo to have some kind of breakout performance here.
Same, like I really like a lot of people in the match, and I really want them to do well. And things like stupid gimmick fucking pay-per-view matches can really fucking hurt somebody, especially when they're new to everybody.
Aye.
Like if you don't know who any of the ROH guys that have come in, like Sanity's in a bit better of a situation because they've been there a while.
Aye.
If you're new in the door and all you've done is beat some people up and then you have a really shit first match, like actual match.
Well, that's the advantage we're having it in NXT though, because it is that shared audience.
Aye.
And most people with the network are right into wrestling, so they know who they are.
Right. I mean, there is. I'm scared. I'm very scared for my.
It's not the talent's fault if this is a mess.
Oh no, absolutely not. I'm not going to blame it on them, but like, I'm worried that the shackles that are on them might just be a wee bit too heavy to ever recover for again. And I'm
Aye,
no,
I know what you mean.
because I have faith in all of them, but say it right.
Well, faith in all of them except Authors of Pain. Where's Paul Ellering, by the way? Is he dead?
I don't know what's going on with him.
Gone for some reason. Who knows?
Vince probably found out he was hired or something. What the hell? The puppet guy!
What are you doing?
So,
back to the review.
aye, so anyway, Raw was great. Apart from the start and end, everything in between, had a great time.
And especially the end, power slam through the ring.
Oh, that was fantastic. I'd never seen it done like that before. I've always seen it as choke slams or whatever.
Aye, same.
Yeah.
But for Braun to go at it with, I mean, he showed no fear doing it. You think, oh well, there's a certain section of the ring
he never
that's
does.
rigged. No, I mean, like in this specifically, there'd be a certain section of the ring that's rigged, and you've got that set space. And sometimes when someone knows that, like you see it with the chokeslam stuff in the past, when they do the move to put them in the ring, they're careful not to catch the hard bits.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's not quite as impactful as it should be because, they're aware of possibility for injury. But Braun, no problem, full confidence, right into it, and it looked fantastic.
My favourite thing about that was when they disappeared into the ring, people in the front row jumped up as if, where the fuck did they just go?
It was fantastic.
The reaction was so good because people genuinely didn't. And I think, again, that's one of the things that if you're there live watching the wrestling, like the people in the front row, it's going to look so much better because they must just sink and disappear. Like, where did they go? Whereas sometimes on telly it can look a wee bit naff, but they done it really well, and I was just like, bravo.
I could imagine
Kane's going to be great.
I could imagine Matthew taking that clip where they disappear and then putting some sounds in, like, floop.
Is the new Botchamania up yet?
Maybe on Patreon, I don't know.
No, because I can. Well, he sends me previews, but I don't want to say anything about it till you've watched it because some of the endings are fantastic.
He gets great ideas from fans.
Oh yes, there's one he posted on Facebook last week. The Jason Jordan and Elias bit from the last show where he's throwing the stuff at him from the trolley.
Yeah.
Aye.
He turned into Super Mario Brothers 2.
I've seen that one, and I was
so like he's throwing the vegetables and he's making the proper noises. That was great.
I much enjoyed it. I'm trying to, there was high points on Raw and low points that were highly aggravating, but I'm trying to think of most of the stuff that happened in between. And I can't remember.
Well, they finished out there was a lot of talk of Paige coming.
She's backstage. We took
We
photos of
see her in
her.
the
She's
town.
here. She's
blah,
here.
blah, 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 blah. And where is she? Instead, we get Bailey in the team with a solid match.
So, did you guys know /hear what happened?
Maybe
No.
give us a clue.
Regarding
Okay.
Paige?
So, Paige went backstage and she was taking pictures with like Alicia, she was taking some with Renee, and then before she's meant to be a surprise like comeback,
She posts them on the
on
fucking-
Instagram.
She's a
So-
fuckwit.
So everybody backstage was like, "What the fuck?" Like people had took pictures of her getting in, but there was like you can never
You
cover
can't do
that
anything
up.
about
But
that.
she was taking pictures with Renee, with Alicia, being like, "Hi guys, look who I'm back with."
Fucking
And they
idiot.
scrapped it and they put Bailey in. So she's been back all
Does she
of
want
an
fired?
hour. I don't know at this point, but
Fucking idiot.
the heat on her backstage is meant to be a rule because they wanted it as like the Seth Rollins return.
Yes.
And
And she
for the
fucked
women,
it.
And she posted pictures where like she could have took the pictures, kept them till she done her bit halfway
Aye,
through the
put them
show,
out
and then
after Raw.
put, but she didn't. And people
No.
are saying that's why she didn't re-debut, or
She's an
comeback,
arse.
or whatever you want to call it. But I remember seeing the pictures and being like, oh my god, yes. Assuming that they'd said to her, you don't need to hide it.
Aye.
And then when I seen that she wasn't on Raw, I was like, oh god. And like all the dirt sheets were saying that's why she was not there.
Fucking
But-
troop.
Talking about that women's segment on Raw, they made Asuka look like any run-of-the-mill anything, just plot her in there. Why was she on? I know that it's
No,
a
she
thing,
got a
she
wee
was-
spot chasing her though.
I
Yeah.
know, but it just when the four of them were just stunning, it looked as if that she was just threw in there that she wasn't anything special. I mean, so did Nia.
But
They-
you can't have her be the thing every time she's out there. I know it's important to get her over, but
but the
it
thing
doesn't
is,
matter what
she's-
they did to her there outside the ring. What matters is what they do with her on Sunday in her
Aye.
first high-profile match.
But that's the thing is, are all the things she's done since she came in have been mediocre.
I'd say her matches with Emma were spectacular.
They're really good matches, but in terms of how they're building Asuka, they've done it all wrong.
That,
And
Well,
that's
this,
just added
You
to
can't,
it.
there's nothing. You can't even judge that. It's been 2 weeks,
yeah,
and she's had two
Kir-
matches.
And Kirsty, the matches she had were against jobbers. They are handling that the same way they did with Braun and with Nia. But
Aye,
The same way they
but
did
first
with
few-
Asuka
first
in the
few
pub
matches
and
are
the
just
next
feel
jobbing
like
matches.
she Disney feels special. And I
But
really
she's
don't
not had time. It's been 3 weeks. She's had two cracking matches on Raw,
I just
and she's
don't
had
trust
the
them to
focus
do it
on
right.
her.
I don't
She's had the
trust
focus
them.
on her during a match she wasn't involved in.
I don't trust
What
them.
else do you want them to do?
I want them to do something special on Sunday. or
Like
show help.
what? Well,
What?
exactly.
She's
But it's
in
not
the-
till Sunday.
Because they can't do
So you
anything
can't
because
judge it.
she's in a women's tag match and that's it.
But I mean, you
She
can
might have to-
remember when The Rock had his very first on-screen WWE match. It was Survivor Series. He was thrown out as an owning guy, as part of the team. He was the last man standing. And he took out two of them to do it.
Right, but
Right,
but
that
The
got him
Rock hadn't
attention
just
straight
had
away.
A title reign that
What?
beat a lot of people's fucking like records and shit. Like it's
She's
just
only
ridiculous.
been there 3 weeks. She can't do anything yet.
Oh, it upsets
You
me
need
because
to
they
give
can't
it
do
time. You
anything.
can't just go, they didn't make her special. She had two matches that were great and she won both convincingly. She has the focus on her in a match that she's not in and looks like a badass coming out of it. Last night on SmackDown,
And last night
Like-
on SmackDown was like it was a lot better. There was something that really bugged me. I could just see her
Just-
in that lineup. I don't
you've
know
nothing
why.
to complain yet. There's nothing to complain about there. They've not done anything wrong yet.
But they're
Okay.
not doing anything spectacularly right either.
But they have done it right.
Why, Kirsty?
They have
If-
done it right. They've done everything they could with her. She gave
I
her
disagree with
matches that were great and showcased her. And then she gets the
It
focus
should
on
have
her to
been-
look like a badass that you don't mess with or piss off. Last night, she batters into the Raw with the Raw women at the forefront of it to assault the SmackDown team. There's nothing else they can do.
I
There's
don't know.
nothing else they
I don't
can
like
do
it.
now. I mean, if they fuck it up on Sunday, I'll give you all the time you want to moan about it because I'll be right there with you. but
It
there
just
is
feels like
nothing to
there's
complain
more anger
about.
that they've done because
There's nothing wrong
they
with
knew
it.
they were firing Emma, but they didn't bury Emma to bring her in as hot as she was in NXT, and then they gear 2 like squash matches. Then
The
they bring her
thing-
out needlessly.
The thing with Emma, though, her and Asuka, I mean, they were opponents in NXT for a bit. They had some good matches. So I think that's more of a thing where Asuka's went, I want you to look good too. Because they are mates and they have worked together before. And then, as I say, it's not like she didn't look dominant in those matches with those finishes.
But she didn't look as dominant, which means she feels like Asuka Light now that she's come up to the main roster, and I don't
You
like
can't
that.
make that judgment yet because it's only been
Well, I
3
have.
weeks. But you're
So deal
wrong.
with it. Maybe I'm
All right,
wrong. Maybe we're
but
talking
Christ.
about January that she's
Well,
fucking.
Well,
they've
is
done
that
it.
you?
I don't even watch NXT. What the fuck are you talking
I
about?
think he's possessed you to fill you with shite.
Like, you can't even say that this. Fair enough. It's been, and it's not been 2 weeks. It's been longer than that because she
3 weeks.
because she said 2 jobbers, which were 2 separate weeks, and she had the TLC match, so it has to be 3 or 4.
Right,
So
4 then.
So there's been a
We'll
month,
say
and
4.
it feels right.
What have
so
they done?
That's a month.
Ryan?
Nothing. They've done
Exactly.
nothing.
So what are you moaning about if they've done nothing wrong?
No, I
they
never
did
said they've
nothing
done nothing
wrong
wrong.
and
They've
they
done
did
nothing
nothing right, so it's...
It's it's
They've done
mediocre, and
everything
Asuka
they
shouldn't
can
feel
so far.
mediocre. I disagree with that statement.
Well, fine, but they need to build a Survivor Series match that showcases every member of the, well, every major
If you knew
member
you were
of the
only going
women's
to have,
division.
if you knew you were only going to have the time to do Asuka the way Asuka deserves to do, then why bring her up then?
Because it was either her or Paige, and look at the state of Paige. Can't be trusted, clearly.
I don't like it.
All right, but you can say that. That's fair enough. You don't like it. But don't talk shite.
I'm not. How am I talking straight by giving my opinion, saying that I just don't like the building? I didn't think it was good to have them all stoning it there, doing nothing, having her chase somebody.
I need to check the time later on for Kirsty's rant.
Sorry,
God.
I'm just laughing because it's so easy to wind her up.
That's it.
See,
That's
I
it.
do it smarter than Will.
You do, aye. You understand the concept to a build, but that's because you don't only watch WWE or just play championships on Jinder. So. But Asuka, I don't think she's been used right, and they better fix it.
3 weeks.
I do think they've done what they could so far because you've got a bigger match. They've showcased the best they can. She has to be part of the team and show unity. They fuck it up on Sunday, I'll tell them a new one. But they've not done anything wrong yet. Yet.
Paige is an idiot. Asuka should be better booked.
So should the entire roster.
Well, to be fair, right, but it's the fact that they gave her such a massive push, and then now she's just another star, just another
Jesus
guy.
Christ, it is like talking to her.
I don't like
But
it.
she's just another. She's part of a team for Sunday. You need to show her as part of the team.
Why is she not just kicking people in the face though?
Because that's what Sunday's for. You need to give people a reason to watch things. I want to see Asuka break somebody. I'm going to watch it on Sunday.
I'm pretty sure her and Becky are going to have a major face off at the in the match,
yes.
because like from
Aye.
SmackDown's promo, like, I'm going to break her arm. That's a
You know what
major
I think's gonna
challenge.
annoy me more?
Right,
Is-
I think
I was
we
saying
need
that-
to wrap this up for the women's bit. What were you going to say, Kirsty?
No, I'm just talking about Survivor Series in general. I think this annoys me every year when they do it, when there's a brand split where everything stops. Everything completely stops, and it's like this wee non-canon, still canon bubble that nothing really matters or counts, but they've brought Asuka up in the middle of it, and it's confusing the shit out of me, and I don't like it. Like, we need to get past Sunday, and then we'll see what
Exactly.
we're
Wait till Sunday. You can't judge it yet. And then we'll see what happens on Monday with the reframing of everything. Now, also on Raw, this show's going to be a long one. Finn Balor and Joe teaming up.
Versus the fucking... I nearly sobbed when I seen them out there fighting. Why?
Damn good match though.
Oh, it was so fun. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that is hype
Really
because
enjoyed it.
I wanted to bring this up because you, like you said, with the Survivor Series break up and whatnot and brand split, it's just a total mess. The heel face dynamic doesn't work anymore with this. Who's face, who's heel? Everyone is working together for no reason.
And this is something they've moved
Ah!
towards more and more over the past decade. We're never really acknowledging it.
No,
WWE are now just getting to the point where they don't give a fuck
Aye.
what reactions people get. It started with Cena, but they've really embraced that idea with the reception to Roman. Like, Joe's obviously always going to have his fans. People have followed him from the early 2000s because he's a fucking beast,
Hi.
right?
You're not a beast.
Finn also has his fans. People have been following New Japan, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Finn's a good-looking guy. He's over with the ladies. The kids love the demon thing. The guys respect him because he's a legit badass.
Aye.
And he's a hell of a wrestler. So it's not really a thing where you can properly have a defined face-heel dynamic because Joe's always going to have that section who'll love him for how good he is.
No, Martin, I actually meant that Joe being a heel, Finn being a face, and they're working together.
I know, that's what I'm getting to. Because
Get cheered as an overall reaction.
exactly,
Like,
it's
I
going to
don't
get
know.
cheered having those two in the ring together because it's something that never got seen until WWE. Joe's always going to get cheered even though he's supposed to be a full-on heel, and he's still really good at getting heat, don't get me wrong. But it's just something WWE are far less fussed about. The way they look at it, it's like we've signed these guys who've got our attention from hard work in other places. The fans that know them will cheer them because they know how hard they've worked to get here. That's another disadvantage, I suppose, of the internet age is that, you know, unlike 30 or 40 years ago, when a guy would show up in a territory, people wouldn't know a damn thing about him. He'd get over on the merits of his booking and performances there. Whereas, you know, Joe's came along, we've seen what he did in Ring of Honor and TNA
Or like
and NXT.
take the times in the 70s and 80s where heels were legit beaten up by some fans.
Well, exactly.
because
I mean, Jim
didn't
Cornette
like
had
them.
to wear a stab-proof vest
Aye.
at one point because he was that good at getting heat in the Southern Territory. So, I mean, like the Freebirds and people like that, people who had names back then, people only knew them from magazines. And what would you get in a magazine? A write-up from one guy and a few pictures. You knew next to nothing about them, and your opinion was completely coloured by that writer.
Aye.
You know, and then not everyone who went to wrestling shows read the magazines anyway. So these guys are coming in, you don't know what the Freebirds are going to do with Von Erichs, and then they have that legendary feud where they're best buddies and got each other's backs against all those dastardly heels and Gary Hart. And then Michael Hayes took out Kerry with a cage door to the face, and a riot started. You know, it's still going to happen now because we know everyone's history.
Aye.
Which is why Braun got over the way he did. Because he'd never wrestled before, he was only doing the strongman stuff. And then, against all odds, it turns out he's actually got a knack for this kind of thing.
And no one believed. And no one believed it at first because with the Wyatt family, he was kinda.
And we're that used to tall guys that Vince brings in, these big muscly guys just being shit.
Most
I mean,
of the time.
the last time they brought in a guy who was giant and lived up to his name, it took him 5 years and it was the Big Show.
Aye.
With a decade of a series of tall shitehawks. Escobar, anybody?
Or Great Khali.
Aye, what about, Matt Morgan?
I like Matt Morgan, but I like
Luther
him
Reigns.
Giant
Roman's
Gonzalez.
kayfabe cousin. That was before Big Show, come on. That's
I know,
cheating.
but it's just another example of a
But
bad
that's the thing though.
big guy
We're just
experiment.
that used to it.
That's
Big
why I'm
Show
kind of
came.
excited for Donovan Dijak. Because
Oh,
he's
yes.
another one
Oh,
who's still
yes.
athletic for what he can do.
Absolutely.
Like, it's got to go to ROH, kids. You'll learn lots of things really quick. Regardless of your size, height, weight, or anything, you will learn to do
They'll
everything.
teach you. They'll get you taught. They'll book you like shit, but they'll get you taught.
You can take it elsewhere, it's fine. Have you seen him on PWG? I love him.
I'm just saying, sometimes Ring of Honor booking gives me a bit of a twitch.
Hey, don't get me wrong, sometimes I'm like, wait, what? But for the
Well,
most
no,
part, it's not
just
nearly
my
as
point.
bad as...
You know, Final Battle's coming up. In the main event, it's got Dalton Castle against
Castle's
Cody.
great.
Right? Yes. Now, any other company, apart from WWE, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing, right? Dalton Castle's red hot right now. He's putting in the performances of his career.
Mm-hmm.
I've had the privilege of seeing him twice this year
High five.
in Edinburgh. Any other company would be like, well, this guy's clearly on top of his game. The crowd fucking love him. He's the man. Give him the belt. But Ring of Honor have this weird habit of waiting like 8 months till they've cooled off and then giving them the belt. Or longer if you're Chris Daniels. I don't know. It's just like a really weird pattern they've picked up on.
They always done that though. Like,
I know, but it's
you
shit.
go right back to Joe versus Punk. Like,
Aye, absolutely.
Punk didn't, but it worked too. Like, if you're that hot, then you'll stay that hot.
Aye, but it worked once.
No, it's worked loads of times.
I disagree. I mean, it was a bit of a similar situation to what Joe had in TNA. Remember, he had his undefeated streak at the 5-star match with AJ and Chris Daniels.
TNA's wrapped into that WWE way about him because they so desperately want to be them that it doesn't.
But this was before that. This was like the sort of first year or so out of the pay-per-view era, when they actually concentrated on like work rate and had interesting storylines going, and Joe was just a killer. That run, but 2005, 2006, before Kurt Angle came in, right? Joe should have had the belt right there and then, but Jeff Jarrett was there.
Because Jeff Jarrett.
Exactly.
He's himself. Do you see that bottom here?
Well, I'm just saying he should have had it then, and I get that. Like, obviously, it's not because the belt holders are marked for themselves. Just, you know, if somebody's that red hot, they're going to bring you in merch. Even if it's short term, you can get the belt back on a heel in a couple of months. You should take advantage of it if you're trying to make money. Just saying.
Just Cody the news so hot as well, though, that is it too soon to take it off Cody?
I don't think it would do any harm. I mean, Cody being... Maybe Cody could have multiple reigns and every gets a ring. I would like that.
You've got to remember, though, in Ring of Honor, the most title reigns anybody's ever had is 3.
Aye.
Held by Adam Cole.
Well, that's because whenever somebody wins the title, they hold it for a long-ass time.
Exactly, that's why it takes so long.
And I do like that, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you just need to mix it up a bit, and going to that same formula year after year is a bit tiring. You know? I'm all for change.
Like, I'd like to see Dalton Castle wait, but I'm willing to wait to Final Battle, at least to see it.
Oh, aye. That's what I mean. You need to do it at a big event. That would be perfect for it. Plus, I just like the idea of him doing his peacock strut wearing that belt.
Oh, yeah.
And the ring.
Dalton so much. Oh, can you imagine? He's going to be so... If he gets that ring... Oh...
That would be amazing.
But that's the thing, is I'm willing to wait for that, but this has turned into an indie show all of a sudden because it's...
Sorry, we got to see what happens when Will's not here with his corrupted influence. So, that was Raw. I'm just going to check through the results. Well, we've already spoke about Braun Strowman and Cade. So, with us being here for about 50 minutes, it's time for SmackDown.
So, speaking of change, we had a women's title match on SmackDown. And when I saw the announcement, title match, I was like, no, they are not going. No.
Oh,
in my head, I was like, please.
I know. And to have it in our hometown and all that, and then done that a couple of times.
Anybody else get really cynical though when they realised that it was in?
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
whenever I see Charlotte on, and I don't mean the person, I mean the city, and I see that's where they are, and that there's a flare on the programme, and I assume the worst because of WCW.
But like
Aye.
WWE did as well though. That if
Oh,
you're
aye,
in
but
your
WCW
hometown-
went out their way to literally bury Ric
Aye.
Flair at one point.
Yeah.
I do mean literally. Don't know if you know about this, Kirsty. They had him buried.
Like-
in a grave.
Oh right, I was like, wait,
Literally
what?
buried.
Wow. What is
Russo
that?
and his subtle idea of symbolism there.
Aye.
Just a little.
Asshole. But,
Speaking of Rick, though, what a lovely moment.
Yeah.
it was-
So
it
we
was
had a cracking
so
match.
nice. It
And
was
I'm
a really
pretty
good match.
sure even Charlotte didn't know that he was there.
She didn't know
That's what
because
I
she
about
was-
to say.
she
She
cut the
was
promo
re-
saying that Flair was at home watching and this was for him, and then the music hits and she can't quite believe it when she's. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Even she
That's
runs at him, she
what
looks
wrestling
like
did.
a-
Well executed, WWE.
She looks like a wee, like a proper wee girl.
She loves her
Just
dad,
running.
though.
Mm.
She
Aye,
knows
it was the
what
wee
kind
run.
of person he is, and she ran over. It was a wonderful moment. That's what I like to see in WWE. Like, see, SmackDown was full of what WWE does best
Mhm.
because you had that wee family moment, and the crowd were loving it. It's something they're going to remember for years to come.
Aye.
You know, Ric Flair showing that he's all right. He's on his way back, and then of course throughout the night, the Survivor Series teasing, culminating with that bit in the main event. We'll talk about that last, of course. I totally forgot Gable and Benjamin took on the Ascension.
Aye, that happened.
That happened.
That was a
Question
thing.
mark.
So, yes, and Gable and Benjamin won. Moving on, the US Open
Wait.
Challenge.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Ascension, where are Fandango and
Where
Breeze?
are the fashion files?
Where are
Sorry,
they?
I was looking at the wrong thing there. I've just clicked on the wrong link. I thought it was the right link. No, that was a match. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Because I was talking shite. It was for ages ago. Sorry. I'll try that again. Can't even remember the date, but I'll try that. It's the 14th. 14. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Sorry, folks. That's what happens when you put me in charge. So, blah, blah, blah. I'll, just list the results. No, here's what a bunch of nobodies on Twitter said about SmackDown. I don't give a fuck, mate. Don't give a fuck.
Wow.
I don't.
0 fucks were given. But
So we had Shane in his big speech.
it was fun. I really
Daniel
enjoyed
Bryan's
it.
opening promo where he did his Paul Heyman impression.
Ah,
I very much enjoyed that.
That was my
Great.
favourite thing. Oh, what a time to be alive.
I know.
Paul, I forgot, like, you know how that way when we were talking, I mentally go, oh, we need to bring this up, and then we don't.
Aye.
Paul Heyman talking about AJ
Oh shit! Of
Styles.
course. How can we
Oh,
forget? Well, come back.
push.
it was.
See, and that guy
so-
proposing in the crowd,
Oh,
and he even just ruined that moment for him. It was wonderful.
it was.
They're all chanting, she said yes, and Heyman comes out with, the only reason she said yes is because she hasn't stood next to a real man like Brock Lesnar. Oh!
He should have said she only said yes because she saw Brock Lesnar in the ring.
I would also have accepted, Julie said yes to shut you up because I am speaking.
Oh, he's so good, and makes people panic when stuff like that happens. And
No,
Paul's
Paul,
just
he
like
took a minute,
he
he gave
cracks
them
his
the moment.
knuckles, like
and
mentally.
Lesnar had a genuine smile on his face
Brock
because he was amused by
Brock
it all.
laughed it.
He did. But do you know what else? And I believe I mentioned this in our wee group chat the other day. The difference in Brock overall since the match has been changed.
Oh God, I.
Like, if you look at Raw from last week and you see them out there, or whatever week it was, they were cutting the promo on gender.
It was last week.
Aye, thank you. And Heyman was, of course, slaughtering the guy.
Yep.
Rightfully.
Like Bretton's aim rule of never bury
Aye,
the talent.
don't make
like,
the guy
he
look
just,
bad because then you're just beating a fucking bum. Anyway, Brock's demeanour. He was smiling. He was happy that there's a reaction happening. People are excited. He was clearly feeling it.
Aye.
And
Like,
for
I
the first
hope
time in
that
how
means-
long, we've got a Brock Lesnar genuinely excited for a match he's having.
Yeah.
He better show the fuck up because
I think he
swear-
will. When he's seen the difference in that crowd week to week, now you know it's AJ. And Heyman's praise for
It
AJ.
would not shut up
The-
like the entire time that crowd, apart from the she said yes moment, it
Aye.
was just AJ Styles chants.
Aye.
And
The only
And
thing
Heyman put him
I'm
over like a superstar.
the only thing I'm worried about with Brock is how he's going to work the match. Like everyone that had a match
You
with
see
him
that like there's a
is
mystery about
just-
it. He's going to suplex him. He's going to suplex him a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, like you saw
AJ had said-
in the Botchamania video, where Matthew pointed it out that Braun was giving him his arm all the time, but he straight up refused.
Yes.
No, not that arm, not a submission or anything. You are gonna get suplexed.
ages ago in an interview, I think it was a High Spots interview, after AJ had just left TNA, he hadn't even went to Japan yet.
Yeah.
He had said they were like, right now that you're outside, name like 10 people that you want to work with that you didn't work with in TNA, and one of them was Brock Lesnar.
Of course it was.
So like AJ's up for this match and obviously has been for a long time.
And even if he wasn't, the money. Oof.
Oh, aye. But like Brock must be thinking that too. He must realise the money that is in AJ Styles just in
Oh,
the
definitely. I
bank.
mean, you don't have Heyman put somebody over that strong without telling Brock what he's doing first. And if Brock had a problem with it, he wouldn't be shy in telling him.
Which I'm assuming is what he done with Jinder and why him and
Oh,
Heyman
absolutely.
married fuck out of Jinder. Do you know, even seeing Jinder on SmackDown this week walk up to AJ, it felt as if a million years had passed and he had no right being.
It was a wonderfully distant memory.
Oh,
Not
aye.
a wonderful memory, a wonderfully distant memory.
The time I was like, you don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, like
And I'm better
who
for
are
it.
you?
Oh,
Who are you
I just
again?
Like, I literally.
I don't
So,
know
looked
you.
at it and I
just
just
while
went,
we're on the subject, again, I was talking to you about it during the week, why they took the title off him. Now, from reading various things online, WWE in India is actually broadcast on public TV.
Aye.
The pay-per-views as well.
Here comes the
The
funny thing.
pay-per-views have English commentary. The network, which of course has the pay-per-views, has Hindi commentary. The Hindi commentary where they put over Jinder like he's a national hero. Whereas the English commentary goes, this guy's a fucking godder, you know?
aye.
WWE's India tour has now been cut in half from 2 dates to one so-called super show because they're no shifting the tickets.
Aye.
Network rates are down. There is no enthusiasm. Also, the fact that they were charging the equivalent of $540 for a ringside seat for a fucking house show
What?
might be a factor. In a country where, yes, there's a lot of people, but they don't have any fucking money.
That is ridiculous.
It's a developing nation.
That's like WrestleMania and fucking money tickets.
Yes, it
What
is.
the fuck?
It is.
So their business is down. Jinder mysteriously loses the title before the numbers come out. They announce this house show thing, and then to make up for the fact that he's not the champion, they'll have Triple H have a match with him. Where Triple H will be face, obviously, because nobody likes Jinder. They seem to still be convinced he'll get a hero's will. He ain't. He's getting
Aye.
booed.
The thing is, right, is India is a bilingual country. Most
Exactly. Well, that's why the
talk
TV's in English.
Right, that's why the TV's in English. So if they're listening every week in English for free and you're bidding them, then they're going to believe the commentary team that they always listen to.
To be fair, they're more likely to believe their own eyes and they see that he's not very good.
I mean the commentary that's like bidding them week in, week out because
Oh, I mean, that doesn't help them, no, but, you know, and if Indians are people too, and they aren't stupid.
Right.
it just fucking upsets me. Like it was doomed for the beginning.
Sorry, you could have phrased that better. Indians are people too. They're smart. That upsets me.
No, that's not what I meant. I mean, how gender was the whole gender experiment upsets me. Not Indian people. I'm very sorry.
Wow!
Another
Why did
week,
you have
another
to point
racist.
that out? Kirsty, that didn't sound so wrong at first.
I don't know why this keeps
Wah.
happening to me.
Because you're a hideous racist.
I'm not racist at
I'm
all.
not racist.
And then suddenly
I'm so upset.
Indians Russell Crate fans saw your video and then
This
unsubscribe.
is why we don't get a sponsorship.
Oh, it's me like saying something silly sounding like
Think before you
Shut up.
speak.
I was just going on a different part of the conversation. I just realised how if you only hear your part and then my part straight after it, that it would sound bad. I
No.
need the gender
No,
expression.
man, it's not like think before you speak. It's more like don't point out things that people didn't get before.
No, because then half our comedy's fucked.
Like, then what's the point of this show at this point? Like,
And she's not even had the rant yet.
I had a rant.
She had it.
No, you've not had the rant.
I'm pretty sure that was earlier.
Well, no, because we didn't announce it. We need to announce it and build it up and all that.
That's why I pointed it out at the end. For Will to know.
Right, I'll just shut up.
We've been there.
Anyway, we also had United States Championship match where,
What-
for some
what's
reason,
the
the
point?
greatest brawler in the world, Sin Cara, up against Baron Corbin. Sorry, do you remember Russell Crowe in South Park? Fights around the world. That's Sin Cara. Sin Cara and Taga.
Sin no one.
He fights around the world.
Wait, everybody
Anyway.
is so angry.
Yes, he's just an angry wee man. I'd be angry if I was that size or not.
Hey,
What?
I'm pretty sure
You're
you're taller
angry.
than me.
You're giving me further evidence for my claim.
The closer you're to the ground, the angrier you are. It's
Aye,
confirmed.
it's exactly something to do with being nearer the Earth's core. Anyway, that match happened. Baron Corbin won. We're getting Baron versus The Miz, which, if anything else, has at least entertained me with their Twitter arguments.
The
Yeah.
Twitter arguments have been pretty bothersome, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, aye. I think they genuinely don't like each other. And I don't mean in like a, oh, they're working as, I mean like, if we weren't working for the same company, I would be warn you about stepping in dog shit if I seen you in the street kind of
Aye.
thing, you know?
Looks like
Then
it.
the Hammer Brothers, sorry, the Bludgeon Brothers,
Hammer Brothers.
they did a promo,
They did.
and it was
and
really fucking bad.
I've kind of just accepted the gimmick as like hokey pokey silliness, and I'll accept.
I don't mind the
but
gimmick, I like the get up, I like the comedy mallets.
I'm thinking though, the reason we haven't seen Fashion Files is because obviously the 2B thing is going to
Mhm.
work into that. So I'm assuming that Fashion Police will be back next week.
Some
With
Okay,
them making a debut and kicking their ass or something, aye.
Probably.
But
Yeah.
at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they both turn to Mario and Luigi all of a sudden.
Well, no, I'm kind of hoping we'll get a Brodus Clay situation. Being in this forest with these rubber hammers, and then next week Luke Harper's going to look up from under his hood and go, "Somebody call my mama!"
Oh my god, yeah. Liz. But I feel like there's something else on SmackDown
Well, I've
in
got
my
the full
brain.
list here. We've
So-
got the
something
whole
like
Daniel Bryan threatening Shane with a conversation, because that's how non-wrestlers deal with things.
How normal
Um,
humans deal with things when they're upset. We'll talk at an appropriate time where we're no distracted for our work. Because this is how normal businesses work. And none of this craziness.
We'll even
Aye.
have an HR rep to mediate. I don't know if they're going to have an HR rep at this point.
Please have the counsellor back.
Please.
Please. If we're going to do this, let's do it right.
Shane, I think you've got anger issues. Here's my friend, Dr. Shelby.
Got to let you hug it out, man.
We also had Jimmy Uso and Chad Gable.
Yes, that was. I was ready to say I was like the Usos, but you corrected your mistake. They tried to fuck up his knee and it didn't work. So then shenanigans.
That was pretty much a good summary. Shenanigans.
Yeah,
I mean,
Anybody
it was
got
fun.
anything to add to these shenanigans?
not really.
I mean, Usos were pretty over as well. That was good to see.
Yeah,
I
the,
loved
it. I
the
loved
crowd
it so
Nice
much.
wee promo.
chanted like hell.
Mm-hmm.
Every week, it's the same kind of promo they're putting in Dane, but it seems to get better.
Worked for
every
the New
week.
Day.
Well, I true, but I don't know. It seems more refined every week. Like they're getting in, like more settled. I suppose is they've been
Yeah.
there for like 4 or 5 months, so they're heels now and they know what they're doing, and it's easy and XYZ. I like it. I like it. a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
High
well,
five.
I remember when they were still faces, they were like, okay, yeah, who are these guys? Should we care?
Yeah, they were. You knew they were there for the wins because they'd come out and they danced and they were colourful and
Aye.
whether the reason the New Day ended up getting somewhere, I think, was with the hidden. It was like watching a Disney movie. There's always hidden jokes to keep the adults entertained.
Yes.
Well, they take the Waynes to see the New Day do that very well, where the Waynes can really enjoy it because colours and schism and everything, but
Aye.
they're there for us as well, and the Usos didn't do that when they were face. So
Speaking of the New Day, they had the main event, but the promo that they cut before it, I wanted to give special mention to this because it cracked me up. Like the Hounds versus the Unicorns, and then you had that thing, who wants to be compared to a dog, they eat their own poop. To which Xavier has to re-emphasise, they literally scoop it up in their mouths and chew it and swallow it.
it's disgusting.
And I was like, hey, but what? I don't know.
Well, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong. Like it's somebody that's had a lot of puppies in their time and have to train this out of them. It's not fun.
It's somewhat unpleasant. Don't eat shite.
Don't do it.
That's Kirsty's routine there for getting them to stop it. Don't eat shite!
That's not quite how I do it, but it's fine.
Really? It gets to the point and they tend to stop it after a while. Anyway, so they had a really cracking match with Kev and Sammy.
They did indeed. And then, of course, the Shields music hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
This was a personal favourite moment of mine because you've got the Shield doing their surround the ring thing and then Kev and Sammy very, very bravely ran away.
stop, drop, and
Roll
roll.
out.
Exactly. It was
It's the
great.
thing that they've been building the entire night.
Oh, by the way,
boys.
what, that they in trouble, aye? Kevin and Sammy for going off script, aye?
It has to be a work. Like the merit.
Of course
the
it
longer
is.
it owns.
Yeah,
Did
what
anybody
else?
see what Kevin was doing on his 5 days after? This is when I realised.
He crashed a wedding. He went to a gig with Sammy. They also went for coffee, I believe, at some point.
They went for coffee. They went to. He had an argument with Randy Orton as well about him being fat because Orton seems to really hate that Kevin gets away with being a heavy guy.
Well, and then Kevin, of course, said to him, "That's the one comeback you've not blown."
It was a fun 5 days, but at that point I realised I was like, this is a pure work that's working in the Survivor Series. But it's fine.
So, odds
It was
on
a
that
work
come
for work.
that main event, Kev's just going to take out Randy, isn't he?
He's going to take. I
Most
think
likely.
My spoiler, my prediction is Kevin and Sammy get involved and cost SmackDown the match.
Yes.
And, then
And the
somehow
reason,
get Dirty Raw.
other than the obvious, is that the past 4 times SmackDown and Raw went at it, SmackDown have won.
So I think that's what it's going to be.
Aye.
And
But we'll talk about that at the weekend.
Our prediction
thing I was gonna
showed
say-
that
We're saying how SmackDown was a good showcase, what WWE does best. That show-ending brawl. What a fucking brilliant bit.
Out of all it though was seeing the Usos run out to try and
Yes.
stop the New Day and Roman standing in the middle of the ring and letting Seth and Dean just
See,
beat them up and done
That
nothing.
would have been my favourite moment had it not cut to the women where Asuka grabbed Alexa by the hair. Was it No, not Alexa,
What's
sorry.
Alexa?
Was it? Who grabbed her?
that wasn't Lana.
Lana! She grabbed
Lana.
Lana and dragged her along the ground
Mhm.
by the hair. And you're saying they're not putting her over, right? She's a fucking psycho.
But that was an invasion though. Everybody who was on Raw's side got something. It's not like everybody came in and had a polite conversation and Asuka just started dragging people about by the hair.
Literally dragging. Which led to the millions of original Twitter comments of "Yes, drag her queen."
Did him.
It made me happy.
Oh, it was great. But yeah, what a show closing segment. And then that bit was the Shane beatdown.
Oh my god, it was so
magnificent. And then Kurt finally snapping.
Kurt was savage.
Because he's.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what really annoys me? Is they beat up his son, but he's still fighting for his job. And I'm like, why would you care? They just beat up your long lost son.
Like, Kurt was so overexcited, and so was Shane, I guess, when that angle. Shane leapt a bit too high.
He did. It was the most awkward
Kurt had to
landing.
stop him landing on his neck, so he
It
just
was
stopped
so
spinning.
bad. But the 2 triple power bombs and the angle slam, like, it looked badass. And then see the final shot where they're all standing in like some sort of triangle formation.
Aye.
And they
That was
just all
great.
look fucking intense as hell. I was like, SmackDown, even like, Raw to an extent, but SmackDown just felt chaotic. Like anything was happening the entire night, and it was very good.
And I miss that feeling in
See,
WWE
like,
shows.
Walked away finally going, oh, these 5 rules of wrestling a week can actually work when everybody's excited to do something and when everybody's involved
And when effort's put in to telling
Aye.
the story.
Like, it can work. Let's keep doing this, please.
Aye.
Oh,
Please. We'll see what happens come Monday. But I'm very much looking forward to Sunday night anyway. Also Fear and Loathing.
And Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited for NXT. Like, I love a takeover. Takeovers like never disappoint, even if it's no.
Except the London one.
But even then, but it wasn't like it wasn't the best takeover ever. But it's still not by any means like a B fucking pay-per-view show.
No.
It's never. You never walk away from it going, I should have went to bed instead of staying up to 3 to watch some bullshit. You always go, that was some good wrestling. Like, even if it's not the best, it's always good. So bring on takeover.
Yeah, but the only disappointment this show is having is, like I said on the indie show, the United Kingdom title match.
Yeah, I was really hoping that'd be
fucking
Fear and
dark
Loathing.
match.
Oh, I hope they change that, or at least put it on the pre-show.
We can hope.
I want to see it. Those,
If we're lucky,
that'll be good.
If we're lucky.
6 rules are
Because
is it 5 rules or 6 rules, including the pre-show.
I don't know. The Survivor Series is a long one.
Because Pete Dunne versus Gargano is too good to be a dark match.
It is. It's ridiculous. And the thing is they've got that, and then they've got what 2.5, 3 hours the night before. So you're talking about 10 hours of wrestling showtime, and you're telling me you can't fit 40 minutes in there. Maybe
I know.
even 40 minutes. Like, give them 20. Just you're telling me someone.
But even at that, even if they
20
gave them 20, they give them adverts on the network as well.
Oh, but at least then we'd be able to see like some of it, and it'd be dead good. But why? Why? Also, Shawn Michaels, yay!
Almost forgot that he's gonna be
I
there.
know.
Because there's so much going on now. But Shawn Michaels is reffing the War Games match because you need somebody.
You need somebody who's never been in a War Games match to referee a War Games match.
I was going to say.
Suppose Nash is busy at Fear and Loathing on Sunday, so he couldn't do it.
Shows up.
If he shows up, probably break a quad and he's fucking sneezing in the morning.
He's probably going to show up. The clicker probably just going to show up and just kill everybody in the War Games match and put their cellar.
Can't you wait? Well, it'll be done with ICW after that, unless the show ends with Bram being murdered. So, you know.
I mean, I'll take fired. I don't want anybody getting arrested.
I never said anybody get arrested. Just said he'd get murdered.
Kill him. I'm gutted. Like, usually this time of the year, I'm all like, ICW, like, it's got to be great. And this year, I'm like,
I know.
I'm not watching it. I'm not even going to watch it. I say that, but like, there'll probably be a whole load of hype on my Facebook.
Absolutely.
That went to it, and then I'll be like, I need to watch it, but I probably won't. Like, and I'm not watching it live.
No.
I'm refusing.
Fair enough. Well, I'm looking forward to a crazy weekend of rest.
Yeah.
And no sleep at all.
With no sleep at all.
AJ Styles better win everything.
I hope.
It's
We'll
an
see what
untitled
happens.
match. Can we please just put AJ out? He deserves it. He's great.
We'll see what happens. I've got
Yeah.
high hopes for a change. I can't remember the last time I said that about a WWE people.
Yeah.
So,
So,
since Will isn't here, I think you should do the honor, Martin.
right, bye.
Wow.
Thank you, ladies and gents, for joining us for another week where we actually had nice things to say. It's nice when that happens. So rare. So rare. And thank you to Kirsty and Flo for, well, being here. And Flo for doing the technical bit because we don't have a fucking clue. Will will hopefully be ready for the weekend. At least we hope for Sunday, if not Saturday night's live stream. And there will be an indie show. Yes, of course. There'll be an indie show on Saturday anyway. Predictions followed by live pay-per-view coverage on Sunday. We spoil you. We really do. But thank you, ladies and gents. No witty finish from me because I had to be in charge. Too much responsibility coming up with a joke as well. So we will catch you on Saturday.
Yeah, I've been Kirsty and I'm going to watch some PWG because I'm enjoying my wrestling this week.
And I've been Flo, and you should appreciate my new technical power.
And I've been Martin and completely lost.
Bye.
Bye.